Harriet Tubman, born into the life of slavery, grew to become the leader of the Underground Railroad system, leading over 300 slaves to freedom. From 1850 to 1863, Tubman used the Underground Railroad, a system of escape routes that freed the lives of many. Harriet Tubman and her network of collaborators encountered a new system of people who wanted to be free, as well as many abolitionists to help along the way. Tubman not only took a stand against slavery, but pushed to be many steps closer to equality. During the 1800s, slavery was a common topic, considering about 20% to 32% of the world's population was slaves.
The relationship between slaves and the slave owners shows the difference in power some had on those in society. Slavery began in the 1600s in Virginia and grew with America and the world up until the mid to late 1800s. In the northern states, slavery did not exist as it was seen as harsh and evil. In the southern states, slavery had only grown with time. Many people saw the wrongdoing with slavery and decided to do something about it. Among these people was Harriet Tubman, and once Tubman escaped, she went back to free more slaves. Tubman was given the nickname Moses because she was like Moses to other people. During Tubman's search for freedom and the freeing of others, she used the Underground Railroad system, which, despite its name, is not an actual railroad, nor underground. It was a series of safe places where slaves could go on their journey from the south to the north. Safe houses provided slaves with the kind of treatment, food, and shelter they needed.
Throughout Harriet Tubman's journey, she encountered many issues. There were many pro-slavery people that caused her goal of freeing slaves 10 times harder. Though there was many for slavery, many abolitionists helped set up the safe houses and made sure the slaves were safe. The safety of Tubman and other slaves were threatened by many whites and racists, in other words, those who were pro-slavery. Harriet Tubman knew that even though there was many on her side, in the government system, the white pro-slavery people withheld much more power over her. At one point, the reward for finding her was $40,000.
Harriet Tubman was a very well-known woman by everybody because of what she was doing for others. In conclusion, Tubman and the Underground Railroad system was very successful. She helped save the lives of many slaves as well as encourage others. She never lost one single passenger throughout her entire journey. She did not only impact the lives of those in the 1800s, but has helped our society today by encouraging the belief in equality. She empowered women and motivated slaves, as well as pushing people today to fight for what they believe in. She could have given up, but she didn't. Today, our country still needs help with ending racism and equality amongst all. Tubman took one step forward for us in helping abolish slavery, and she did a very good job at it. Her courage and motivation will be with us forever. Tubman took a stand against those who had more power than her and those who didn't. She took a stand against what was wrong and fought for what was right.
Born into slavery on Maryland's eastern shore, Harriet Tubman escaped to freedom in 1849. It was just the first of her many dangerous forays, leading runaway slaves from safe house to safe house.
Harriet Tubman was a very spiritual, very religious person and carried this hymnal with her on her trips to bring people out of the Eastern Shore in Maryland. She would often sing with them and pray with them. And
now, is this her favorite song?
Many of the pages have little X's that designate those hymns as her favorites.
Oh, okay. Wow.
This shawl, evidently this was a very favorite piece of hers.
It was tiny.
Very tiny. But she was very strong, very determined, very directed, and had a kind of forcefulness and a kind of authority that people felt when they were with her. You know, they followed her orders and did what she said. And if they didn't, she very famously threatened to shoot them because she couldn't risk alerting the enemy to their presence.
Wow. Just took charge. Oh, what an amazing woman.
I think the common vision that people have of Harriet Tubman is this woman who would go south during the Underground Railroad and would bring people north. And that's all she was about, and that was her claim to fame.
By secret paths and waterways, Tubman did lead dozens of slaves to freedom. But her experience also made her a valuable military asset.
the skills she gained as a young woman in terms of the ability to, go in the woods and travel in strange places translates into very useful skills for the Union Army.
In 1863, the Union command sent her deep behind enemy lines in South Carolina to lay the groundwork for a daring plantation raid.
She goes inland into South Carolina and establishes relationships with local people.
On the night of June 2nd, she planned a covert operation on the Combahee River. As dawn broke, they took 3 plantations by surprise. Tubman gave a signal, and the enslaved people rushed to freedom. They burned storehouses and destroyed crops, crippling supply lines. One Confederate captain fumed, their success was complete.